Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Thanks for tuning in this morning to see my 2022 Ford Mustang Mach-E highway range test. It is filled up to 100% right now. Let me let y'all check this out. There you go. 100%. It shows 178 miles on the Gesso meter. I literally just got this car last week. I only got 313 miles on it. Hopefully today we're going to put at least 178 miles on it. We'll see how accurate that number is. So right now we are going to go to trip 1 and we are going to make sure it is reset. I'm going to hit that a few times. This number will reset just after a little bit of driving, I've noticed. It will go up to 99 and then it will reset. So we got everything reset here in the cockpit. Let's go get out on the highway and see how far we can go. One other thing I should say here at the beginning before we really get started, I do my 70 mile per hour range test the same way that Inside EVs and Tom Malogny, all the big EV YouTubers do theirs, so you can easily compare our numbers back and forth. There is hardly any wind today, which is a rare thing for Oklahoma in the springtime, but it's 5 to 7 miles per hour, but we go in a loop, a big loop. So any elevation change and wind should be, offset going back the other direction. While not completely scientific, it should be as close as I can do as a human being. I'm going to do everything I can do as a human being to keep this accurate results. So we are going to be running in whisper mode today. I will be checking in at 75%, 50%, 25%, and we will be going over the final results when I'm back in the driveway. So let's get on down the road. Guys, we are here at the 75% update. I'm just starting y'all facing this direction because I'm showing we've had some major fires around here, y'all. It has been bad. There's lots and lots and lots, hundreds and thousands of acres have been burned here in southwest Oklahoma. Mostly the problem is the wind, but this guy I know has a farm. Looks like they saved his house, but I don't see any of the horses. Oh, there they are right there. There's some horses. Hopefully they didn't lose too many of their horses, but there is lots of cows out here, and unfortunately there's a poor cow right there. Didn't make it. Let me go ahead and show you the mileage. We're at 75%. 131 miles remaining, and if we come over here and look at the trip meter, we have been 55 miles in 50 minutes. We are averaging 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I'll have to do that conversion to Tesla later because I don't know how to do that in my head, but we're doing pretty good. Half of my loop is about 44 miles, so I was able to get all the way to the end of the loop and come back towards town. I feel like we're doing pretty good. Like I say, we got 130 miles of range. We've been 56 miles. We'll just continue on and see how many loops I can get. It looks like I'm gonna get more than 2 loops out of this car. When I did the Model X, I think it was gonna be very close, right at 2 complete loops. So I remember I bailed out early and didn't do 2 complete loops. But when I did get to the far side, I had to come back and do a little bit more. So I think it's gonna be more than the Model X. That was your 75% check-in, and I will see y'all at 50%. Actually, I'm going to show you another big burned area up here in just a minute. Alright, I wanted to film this on my phone so I can have a little bit of a zoom on the camera here. But this fire was absolutely massive over here. There was some homes lost to this one, unfortunately, but it goes on for thousands, tens of thousands of acres that way. Oh, just lost the, there it goes, it came back. All right, so it goes on for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of acres. Multiple houses gone, barns, outbuildings, I'm sure quite a few livestock, unfortunately. It burned the side of these mountains. It started here next to the road, and you can just see, it's hard to see, but it just goes on forever. All that is black. And this is where it started, here on the highway. Somebody probably threw a cigarette butt out, started it, and then caused chaos for miles and miles and miles. All right, let's get back to the range test. We are at 70%. Little impromptu check-in, been 62.6. See y'all at 50%. Well guys, here we are at the 50-mile check-in. We got pretty even numbers right now. 50%. 90 miles of predicted range, and we have been exactly 100 miles. 1 hour 30 minutes and 2.7 watt hours per mile. Let me zoom out here. There you go. So things ended up pretty even here. 50%, 90 miles and 100 miles into the trip. We're going to continue on down the road, and I will see y'all at 25%. Well, I got an interesting one here. I just got to the very end of the loop, and we got 66 miles of range left. We are sitting at 37% right now, and I figured I would put my home address here in the screen. So I did. And it added a charging stop. It wants me to go, so I have 66 miles of range right now, and it wants me to go 53 miles and stop at a charger. I know there's no charger on this route, so what is this thing wanting me to do? If you zoom out here, here's what its plan is. Instead of just driving straight to my house, it wants me to go more than twice the distance out of my way. Well, maybe not twice the distance, but it wants me to go further than it would be just to get to my house to go to this charging station. Please tell me how that makes sense. Because it doesn't. When you can make it to your destination on the charge level you have, why would it want you to go, I don't know how many miles that is. I'll figure that out here in the editing bay and just insert it. But why would it want you to go that far out of your way to just charge? Wow. So I don't know if there's any way to remove this charging stop. And you can see, look, my range, you can see I'm within the range bubble here. So I can go that far. There's no reason for it to be doing that to me. It kind of freaked me out at first, because when I saw it was suggesting I needed a charge to get home, I was like, oh crap. I've went too far. I'm not going to make it home. But that's not the case. I got at least, looking at the range bubble, I got at least 20 to 30 miles extra that I'm going to have to burn off before I go back home. We'll get back down the road. We're sitting at 35% now, and I will officially see y'all at the 25% mark. Another quick observation, I can't seem to be able to get rid of this charger. I can't delete the charger. I can replace it, if I go in here and say replace, it will search other chargers in the area, but I don't have an option to get rid of it. Trip overview, I can hit details, I can go to here, but I just get those two choices, either replace or details. Oh, see, there it goes straight home. I'm 34 miles away and 31 minutes away. I have 57 miles of range, and it wants to route me dang way out of the way. We'll see what happens here. As the fire department is here. Man, there's that cow in the road again. I really feel bad for that guy. He must have had a horrible death. Now the southerner in me thinks maybe I should go get the truck and pick that thing up and have me a good barbecue later. I mean, it might be already pre-barbecued. All right, here we are. There's your 25% check-in. We got 25%, 44 miles of estimated range. Let's go over here to the... Nope, not that. Let's check out what the screen says for our statistics. We've been 147.4 miles, 2 hours and 12 minutes of driving, 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So there we are. There is your 25% check-in. We were able to get to 146 miles. I don't remember what it was. What we'll do now is, I obviously can't make a whole nother loop. We will go back to the start line, and then we will come back and then do a little short loops until I run out of battery in my driveway. I just wanted to show the scope of this burn coming from the other direction. Everything is burned back in here, and you can even see back in those trees. You can't now, but stuff is still smoking. There's some smoke right there. Stuff is still smoking out here, and there's those horses up there that I was talking about earlier. Very lucky. There must have been lots of firefighters protecting this house over here, but just so much got burned out here. It's just hard to fathom. Like, I mean, everything out there. Those houses look like they got protected, but just ridiculous. If you want to see how persistent this system is, it's still wanting me to do U-turns to go back like 15 miles behind me to go to this charger instead of just go home. This is crazy. No, I'm not going to do a U-turn to get to that charger. I could go home, so I need to go 61 miles to this charger here when my house,
on an individual basis, on a countrywide basis,
my house is only 15 miles away. It wants me to go 120 miles round trip out of the way to go to this charger instead of just driving 15 miles. What the heck, Ford? And it's still wanting me to do it. Even now. Do another U-turn at 64 miles. So that's 128 miles out of my loop. I will update y'all if it ever decides to route me to my house. Okay, I drove past the... Oh, it's still wanting me to U-turn. It's just adding U-turns every mile. See what its plan is here. What is your plan? Oh, it's changed the charger I'm going to. It was up here in Hobart, wherever Hobart is, but now I can't make it to that charger, so it's changed to a closer charger. But obviously I can make it to my house. Look how far that range circle goes past my house. Ford, you gotta fix this logic. charger is near the edge of your range, find a charger or risk running out of electricity. No, say it isn't so. Or you can quit telling me to do U-turns and just drive the...
Move beyond these old tension.
Why do you want to resume that? Just drive the 10 miles to my house. It's only 10 miles. And it's still wanting me to do U-turns to go way down here. Okay, I'm digressing. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this alone now. We obviously, it's a bug. This has got to be a bug in the system's logic. Oh, chargers are now unreachable. Nearest charger is outside of your range. Plan to find a power outlet where you can charge. Let's cancel this route and see if it will finally route me home, since the chargers are out of range. Still adding chargers to route. Oh, it decided unable to add chargers to this trip now because I can't reach them. Let's look at the details. Okay. So now, this is the screen I've been trying to get to for the last, I don't know, 60 miles. I just wanted to see what it estimated for my home arrival, 12%. So that means I need to turn around and burn half of 12. I need to burn 6% of my battery going back the other direction. That's all I needed to see. Why did you have to be so difficult, Ford? All right, so we are at 16%. I will find some way to burn off 6% of my battery after I do the turnaround at the turnaround point. We're not even to the turnaround point yet. I'm here at the end of the test, and I just wanted to show y'all real quick what the range bubble looks like. There's a north-south road and an east-west road that surrounds my town here, so you can see that I can get that far or that far, but the center of the bubble is short because there's no highways. There you have it. There's what the end of the range looks like on the range bubble calculator. As EV Dave calls it, the octopus. That's my favorite name for it. I love it, the octopus. All right, guys, here is the final numbers. We were able to get 188 miles. Now, the GOM over here says we have 4 miles remaining, and it is very accurate. I feel like the GOM and the Ford products is very accurate. So, if we were to add that remaining 4 miles to this, that would give us 192 miles of range at 70 miles per hour. Now, remember, there's also a buffer below zero, but I'm not going to count that because, you know, you can't rely on that, and you really shouldn't use it anyway because that's there to protect the battery. Definitely don't rely on it unless it's an absolute emergency. But using the 4 miles remaining here on the GOM, we are going to say we went 192 miles, and you can see here that it was a very mild day. I didn't have to use the air conditioner until probably the last loop, really. No heater use this morning, and air conditioner use was very limited. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind when you're seeing this range number. Had it been 100 degrees and I had to run the air conditioner the whole time, it may be 5 miles less than this or 3 miles. The AC doesn't use as much power as the heater. In the wintertime, the heater just will suck the power out of this car. But the AC, it does use power obviously, but it's not as bad. So it took us about 2 hours and 50 some odd minutes to do this trip. And our final efficiency number over there is 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. And that is at 70 miles per hour. Looking further down here, you can see all this power, 99% went to driving. I would imagine 1% accessories is probably the screen, maybe the wireless phone charger. I'm not sure, but that's my guesses. You can see did not lose anything for the external temperature. Now down here on its calculations, you can see had I been going slower, the car estimates I would have gotten better mileage. The speed was a major factor in my mileage there. But that brings us to the end of this episode. I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. If you want to see any of my other range tests, I have 2 range tests on my Model 3 and 1 range test on a Model X. And if you wanted to watch those for me for the algorithm, I would super appreciate it. But thanks for watching this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.